nice to catch up with people throughout the Soundwave tour. Papa Roach, you're here, boys. Thank you very much for swinging by.
What's up, my dude?
Has it really been 12 years since you were last here?
Yeah, I think 12 or 13.
Wow.
2000 what did we come here? Two or three?
2002.
Yeah, so it's 15 now. That's 13.
Well, that was, I was just thinking, the first time I heard you guys, I might have been a little bit late on the scene, and it was Love, Hate, Tragedy album was given to me.
Okay, yeah.
And so that's where I kind of got the that got the bug from.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, so, you know, I've been following it ever since, and it's how's it going this time around?
It's going great. This whole festival tour has been amazing. We felt the anticipation leading up to it, and you know, all the festival shows they've even been singing the new stuff, and that's just like,
we have fans here. Yeah. It's a trip, dude. Yeah. You know,
does it still spin you out a little bit?
Yeah, man. I mean, we haven't been here in 12 or 13 years. You know, we finally come down here, and it's like, you know, this fan base has been waiting for us all these years, wanting to rock out, and you know, we saw it when we stepped on the stage. All four of the shows, just people feeling it, and you know, we'd love to come back on this festival. We'd love to come back in general and just do our own headlining tour. We were talking about it in the dressing room. We were like, what's the next move? On stage tonight, I'm all, who's having a sick New Year's Eve party? Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's get back there.
Hey, man, I'm just throwing it out in the cosmos. You know, someone might pick it up.
That's it. Well, the Sidewaves were a great indication, especially at the Forum in Melbourne. That was huge.
Yeah, it was a good vibe, man. The energy, man. That's what we feel down here.
Yep.
Being together for such a long time, how do you manage to put together, you know, because it's a short, you can't do a full headline show here, so how do you get your set list together?
Just put together the hits and the misses, and
I
was going to say
classics, fan favorites.
Yeah,
does it get to the point
hits
where
and misses?
Yeah. So someone goes, well, we should play that. No, does everyone get shouted down?
Yeah.
Or
there's a couple that we're like, nah.
There's
one I keep saying no to.
Is there a song can you think of that you've never actually played live?
Oh, there's a few.
There's a few.
Really?
Yeah.
Why does that happen?
It's just some work live and some are just, you know, it's like some of them are just apparent like fan favorites, you know, we want to play them. And that's the thing, when we step on stage, we want to light up a crowd, you know, and we're not necessarily like the real self-indulgent type band where we're like, we only do what we want to do.
Yep.
It's like we want to please the fans. And so I think that kind of determines what we're doing on the set list. And you know, especially on a festival like this, we want to cut through all the clutter. There's a ton of bands, and we want to be remembered. So it's like, let's play the classics and the bangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that is a tough thing, isn't it? Yep. Do you prefer the festivals over your own gigs?
Both are good for different reasons. You know, with the festivals, we feel like we're taking on a challenge.
Yeah.
And
you said, you've really got to make that impact, don't you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now you got to go and see some wildlife while you were here.
Yeah.
It always seems to be a favourite of the Soundwave touring bands to go off and see the koalas and kangaroos.
Yeah, it's nice, man. It's beautiful, man. You got some cool little creatures.
Yeah, we do.
That's
you know,
right,
and
man.
Actually speaking to Sully before from Godsmack, and he was like, it's like when I went to the States the first time and I saw a squirrel, for crying out loud.
They're everywhere where I live, dude.
You know?
Yeah.
That's like target practice in my backyard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talking about the new album, I was listening to it again the other day, and Love Me. I've picked out some favourites here. I hope you guys can talk through them for me. Love Me Till It Hurts.
Yeah.
War Over Me, and then Warriors. All great songs and all different songs.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Do you guys find that you might have your favourites, your little babies, on the album?
Oh yeah. I think each of us, if you asked each of us what our favourite cuts are, it's all different.
Yeah, it's not that you don't like the other ones, it's just that you have that.
You know, it's like,
it's the same for fans.
There's a record that was like supposed to be like a bonus track on the record, but we're finding out like hell of our fans are like talking about it, like Fear, Hate, Love.
Oh yeah.
Hell of fans are like, that's my favorite song on the record. You know, so it's like there's just when I go through and listen to the record, I'll pull songs and just vibe on that one for a minute, you know, but like Love Me Till It Hurts, just
I love
it's
that
got
song.
that, it's such a great song. And you know, there's fun guitar work on it. You know, it goes from like, does it go to minor to major? I don't know. It's got that lift in the verse. It's like on some like, what is that, like Daryl Hall and John Oates shit? You know what I'm saying? And so it's got this really cool major verse and then a minor chorus, and it's just, you know, for me, that song really just talks about that crazy roller coaster ride of a love life that I have. You know, and it's sometimes in a relationship, those hard times, and when you make it through it, and loving each other when the other person isn't necessarily loving themselves or you. It's like you just hang on, and those are the moments that define you as a couple, you know, because you pull through that stuff, you know. And so sometimes love is a painful thing, but it's also just such a beautiful thing, you know. It's worth fighting for.
Well, and I'd say that's worth fighting for, and so is this band for over 20 years, you know, and,
for sure.
and over 20 million albums. It's no mean feat, you know.
It's a trip when people say that.
It's been a lot of work, but it's, you know, we're lucky to be doing what we're doing, and there's a lot of bands out there that were around when we came up, and they're not here
no
anymore.
longer here.
Yeah.
And you know, we're fortunate to be here, you know.
I've asked a few people over the weekend about this. Do you think that rock music in general has gone through a bit of a resurgence, because it was huge in the early 90s? You know, grunge opened the doors to so many bands.
I feel it coming back pretty strong, man. There's the contingent of bands that have stuck around through it all, like Korn, P. Roach, Deftones, Incubus.
Absolutely.
You know, and then there's this new wave of younger, heavier bands that's coming up. Of Mice and Men, Bring Me the Horizon, We Came as Romans. You know, a lot of these younger kids that are Falling in Reverse, Escape the Fate. You know, they're coming with this fresh new rock sound. But these were the kids that were listening to Papa Roach, Korn, and Deftones and Incubus when they were kids. And so there's kindred spirits between our bands, because they're like, yo, dude, like, you guys inspired us back in the day. And we're looking at these bands going, you guys are inspiring us now.
Yeah.
And because there's similarities in vibe and the music and the groove and the bounce and stuff like that. And so I definitely feel there's a resurgence in rock, and, you know, give it another 5 years and it's going to be the biggest thing on the planet again. You know what I'm saying? Everything's cyclical, dude. And, you know, we've survived through a few of the phases. We've seen.
Well, that was going to be another question of mine.
Go ahead,
because
man.
It's gone through. You know, like I said, in the early 90s when you guys were kicking off, and then it sort of went up, and then it went down, and it went into that new metal kind of phase, and then it kind of just almost disappeared in the early 2000s, you know?
Yeah.
And now it's just starting. I don't know if maybe it's me looking through it through rose-colored glasses, because I'm a rock fan and a heavy metal fan, and I don't know, but maybe I'm just seeing it. People want the truth again, and people want real music again.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe people are tiring of all those bloody reality TV shows, you know?
Yeah,
hopefully.
you know.
Hopefully, yeah.
I feel you on that tip. It's like, what have we seen come and go? The garage rock revolution, 4-car garage rock, emo, screamo.
Yeah.
Then what was the next thing? Average white guy rock.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Average white guy rock came in, and then it kind of going away. And so now we kind of see this new resurgence of heavier sound and bands. It's like, cool.
Yeah, it's almost
This
like
is exciting.
People are dipping their toes in the water with other stuff, but it's like, it still doesn't feel as good as the real stuff, you know?
Man.
Now, the other thing I wanted to congratulate you on, I saw on your Twitter feed, Jacoby, that you got honoured recently.
Yeah.
Commemorated the Infest album and your charity work.
Yeah, man.
That's the charity work is what I wanted to ask you about. What sort of stuff are you doing? And, you know, let's get the word out there.
You know, I mean, over the last few years, it's like we jumped into working with like Why Hunger and raising money on tour, and like auctioning off these VIP packages where people would come and watch a show side stage, and then we would take that money and donate it to a shelter in town. And then
food drives at the shows.
Yeah, food drives. I mean, all kinds of stuff. I jumped in and did this thing called Be Change, where we ran across the country and raised money for some impoverished schools, and brought in like a school assembly, and we went and spoke at these schools. And so just kind of bringing some Posicore energy to the people out there. And, you know, I think that philanthropic spirit is alive in the band, and we feel, you know, it's good to give back to our community. We just announced we're doing a show in our hometown of Vacaville on the 18th of April to celebrate 15 years of Infest, but to also do a benefit show. They're breaking ground on a cancer center in Vacaville, our hometown, so we're donating all the money to that.
Oh,
you
nice.
know? And so just really kind of just spotlighting our community and trying to be of service to our fellow humans, you know what I'm saying? I just think it's a good thing to give back, you know. And the cool thing too is we're starting to see a thing in America where the youth in schools and shit like this, the kids are starting to do a lot more service work in their community.
Right.
So you see that like come alive in the youth, and that's what's really going to bring change, because, you know, I didn't get into help, you know, getting out there and doing this kind of stuff till I was an adult.
Yeah.
But now you see the kids kind of getting into it, and that's when the real change will happen. So hopefully we'll be inspiring some kids out there to, you know, just go, you know, stop tripping on your own shit and go try to help somebody else in need, you know?
It's funny that you should say that. The kids are making the change. It's also the kids that are making the change in the music. That,
oh, yeah, man.
And it's like, it's a kick in the ass for all of us, isn't
exactly,
it?
Yeah, for real, man.
It's like we went through, we've lived through a period, we've all sort of got lazy, I guess, in that respect.
Not me. Not Jerry Harden. Not Papa Roach.
Well, you've been very busy. Of course, I see you wearing your own label here.
Yeah. Lovers of Lunatics, man.
Yeah. So that's keeping you busy?
Yeah, man. It's just something that kind of goes in line with P. Roach and rock culture. And, you know, I kind of saw something missing in rock and roll clothing that I felt there was a void. And so I want to come in with something creative and different and says me. And so drop Lovers of Lunatics, and it's just, you know, straight cult classic right now, you know. So hopefully one day it'll be a bestseller. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But it's just creative and fun, and, you know, I think we're all, like, at a point in our careers, too, where it's like, we love Papa Roach. This is our bread and butter. This is our main focus. But we all have different things that interest us as we get older. I mean, Jerry's got some cool things in the works, too, you know.
What's going on with you, Jerry?
Putting together a photography book.
Oh, actually, that's the other thing I saw. You were pumping up his tires for his photography.
I just keep throwing them out there, dude.
Yeah, that's great.
Looks like a photography book might be on order.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a while and just as a hobby, but, you know, every time I'm working on photos and he sees me, he just goes, "What are you doing with that photo? Come on."
It just needs to be seen, dude. I think, you know, there's just so much cool art that he's created. It's cool, man.
It's fun, and the cool thing was that for this record, the guys entrusted me to contribute to the visual part of the whole thing, and I did all the photography and the art direction for the album.
Wow!
So that was
it
was cool to be, you know, to not just be part of the recording process, but also on the other side of it to contribute.
I mean, really,
visually.
essentially and truly, like,
it's another paycheck as well.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like next time, go, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this for P. Roach, but guess what? I'm gonna get paid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for real. It's like,
get paid.
And then the next thing you know, you're doing it for all these other bands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a few bands now that are into photography, and I think it's just that creative side that comes out of you. Yeah. I mean, you guys would have done a million photo shoots, so you know what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And the compositions and the things like that. So, I mean, I see Randy walking around from Lamb of God yesterday, just taking hundreds of photos.
Yeah,
you know?
he's. I think both Jerry and I really admire his photography.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, just following it on Instagram, and it's just the stories he tells with it.
Yeah.
Great storyteller, great writer.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read his book.
Yeah.
We've actually become real close with some of the dudes in Lamb of God, become really good friends with those guys. And so, you know, to kind of, we started as huge fans of that band, and now we've become friends with them. It's like cool to see kind of the other side of those guys and not just the music. And so, you know, to every artist, there's many layers.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's, as we get older, we start to discover those different things and explore those passions along with the music, and it just adds this deeper level of interest from the fans of what we do, you know?
Yeah. Well, it sounds like things are going in the right direction.
Oh, yeah, dude, totally.
You've got everything sort of covered.
Yeah, man.
Keep
feels
busy.
Good, man.
Keep them busy.
All we've got to work on now is to get you back here sooner rather than later.
Seriously, man.
We're talking about it.
Let people know we do want to come back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, we'll come back, do Soundwave again, or we'll do a New Year's party. We'll do our own festival or our own headlining tour, like all that. We'll be hollering at AJ soon to see what's up.
All right. Well, I'll get on it. I'll get on his case and make sure
that's
he brings it back soon.
Make it happen, Higgo.
I will. I will make it happen. Jerry and Jacob, thank you very much.
No problem, man. Thank you.